Welcome to the Festival of Legends. Some of Hearthstone's greatest stars are taking the stage in this new music and festival-themed expansion. It's lights, camera, mana cheating on the greatest stage in card games. The creativity is through the roof, and a whole lot of things have changed as we rotate into the Year of the Wolf. Let's dive into this latest Tempo Storm Wild Hearthstone meta snapshot. For Wild Hearthstone, the correct name of this new game year, at least for now, is the Year of the Druid, which is somewhat frustrating for longtime players of this format, because even this new expansion is rich with well-designed and potentially powerful cards. One specific new addition is overshadowing all of the others. That new addition is Instrument's Tech, a cheap neutral minion weapon tutor, which, putting two and two together, means that Druid now has a reliable and easy way to pull its mainline combo out of the deck. Twig of the World Tree with Sphere of Sapience to break the twig. This already powerful synergy, which was already a much discussed nerfed candidate among players, has been supercharged, reliably enabling a boatload of mana cheating at very early points in the game. For this reason, we have added a tier S to this debut snapshot for the Festival of Legends. We do not make this decision lightly. Early data shows that Twig, Sphere, and Instrument Tech are at outsized win rates, and most importantly, their decks just feel about as gross as tier S decks have felt in the past. The principal deck here is straight up Ramp Druid, which pumps mana to cheat any number of potential win conditions, early huge minions, Astalor Bloodsworn Chains, or just good old Alexstrasza the Lifebinder duplicated with Flabadina's Floop, of course, and perhaps cheated out by a Nubricon. It's good, really good. Tier S good. But that doesn't mean that other Druid decks aren't also shining right now because of the weird and warped meta created by Ramp Druid's surge to the top. Questline Druid and Tony Druid, using new deck swapper Tony, King of Piracy, looks promising right now for different reasons. The former got new tools and can reliably beat the white-hot aggro trying to get under Ramp Druid, and the latter is straight-up fast combo that can get under both Druid and Mage. Although, to be honest, you could dump Twig, Sphere, and a couple of Instrument Techs into 26 other cards and have something at least playable, so just about any old Druid archetype is back on the menu. Experiment while you can. Because Druid is holding back anything that resembles control or value, that leaves it to aggro to try to go as fast as it can. Sustained mid-range isn't as important as burst, so naturally Pirate Rogue and even Shaman are still on the menu. They're tier 2 at best right now, however, because the top is so heavy with strong archetypes, including one in Questline Druid that can eat most aggro. Both archetypes may potentially find new Festival of Legend cards to add to their regular rotation, but that experimentation is still underway. Speaking of tier 2, there we also find two resurgent non-Druid archetypes, Kingsbane Rogue and Quest Mage. Kingsbane, already a sleeper choice for devotees pre-expansion, got several new tools, including the aforementioned Instrument Tech. With so many reliable ways to tutor Kingsbane, and with a discounted Blade Flurry to overcome their former aggro worries, things are looking bright for Valeera and her ever-swinging weapon. A word about Quest Mage, it might just be back. While that statement may send a shiver down certain spines, it's still very early in this new expansion, so take all of this with a grain of salt. But given early success with Tempo Storm Theorycrafts and the strength of several new spells to this archetype, we are bullish that the current win rates may soon be on the rise. Check this week's Quest Mage write-up for a specific explanation of why we're higher on this archetype than others in the community. After we drop into tier 3, things get a bit hairy. Between tier 3 and tier 4 are a host of potentially viable, but not really, archetypes, most of which are being squished into irrelevance by the decks above them, especially Ramp Druid in tier S. No individual archetype is worth spending too much time on in this space, so please check their detailed write-ups for more details. And this is the real shame of an expansion that breaks a format. Festival of Legends is cool, really cool. But when most of these cool cards cannot see significant play because a select few are body blocking the entire format, what can players do except theorycraft, do their best, and then throw up their hands when it's another Druid mirror because you just gave up and decided to play Ramp Druid too? This keeps happening, and it's an absolute shame, especially when top players saw the Instrument Tech issue coming a mile away. Change and adjustment are almost inevitable. Until then, do your best and come on back to the Tempo Storm Wild Hearthstone snapshot. We'll be experimenting and updating our lists, preparing for whatever act comes next in this, the Festival of Legends.